We'll get to Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham trying to sell tickets.
And put that energy into the product on the court instead. Damn!
She is going to be the reason that fans get pumped up and excited and they tune in to watch Stephanie White.
Nor do fans pay to watch her. Fans are not stupid. Stop trying to force her on the fan base.
Fans hate Stephanie White. Caitlin Clark fans do not like listening to Stephanie White.
Fans are not stupid. Stop trying to force her on the fan base.
Something big is brewing in Indiana, and it didn't build up overnight. The moment Caitlin Clark stepped onto the WNBA stage, expectations didn't just climb. They shot through the roof.
Why does it feel like the Fever are running a full PR campaign for Stephanie White? Instead of promoting the actual players, people pay to see. I'm sure she's a nice person, but she is not the franchise superstar, nor do fans pay to watch her.
We're talking about a once-in-a-generation player. She broke NCAA scoring records, drew massive TV audiences, and became the defining face of women's basketball almost instantly.
You remember when your boy went out there? Remember when Sandy Brondello was fired? And I came on here and was like, the Fever need to go get her like right now, immediately. She had all this experience.
But just weeks into her pro career, the headlines aren't about her taking over games. They're about growing frustration. And that frustration is now turning into something much harder to ignore.
You still don't get why your ticket prices dropped. Please make it stop. That's how I feel listening to Stephanie White. When Stephanie White gives her press conferences and her interviews in between practice,
fans aren't just unhappy, they're taking action. What they're seeing on the court doesn't match what they expected. Instead of building the offense around Clark's rare skill set, Coach Stephanie White's system feels like it's missing the point entirely.
Not parked in a corner, getting iced out again. Stop trying to manufacture approval through nonstop propaganda videos,
clips, interviews, media pushes. A lot of the attention keeps landing on the coach. Meanwhile, the player who is selling out arenas and driving ticket sales feels like just another name on the roster. That's exactly where the tension starts.
Why does it feel like the Fever are running a full PR campaign for Stephanie White? Instead of promoting the actual players.
Let's not forget, Clark averaged over 30 points a game in college and broke the all-time NCAA scoring record. Numbers like that don't just call for attention. They call for a whole system built around that kind of talent.
Is the engine of your train. You know who's the engine of the Indiana Fever train, which should be their offense? Caitlin Clark is the engine, not Charles Manson. It's not Charles Manson, okay? That is not the engine of your train if you want to be successful.
But in Indiana, fans are watching possessions run without her. She's standing off the ball, left out of plays, barely involved at times. In the age of social media, nothing like that stays hidden. The response from fans has been fast and fierce.
Stephanie White, instead of promoting the actual players, people pay to see. I'm sure she's a nice person, but she is not the franchise superstar, nor do fans pay to watch her.
Comment sections are overflowing. Opinions are hardening. A clear divide has formed. This has gone well beyond simple criticism. It's a full fan revolt. In their view, it's not just bad coaching. It's letting greatness go to waste. And if something doesn't shift soon, this could spiral into something the league has never dealt with before.
No organization in the history of sports has done something like this, and I think it is going to backfire unless this team starts absolutely on fire, in which Caitlin Clark is a huge reason for that.
And here's where it goes from frustration to all-out conflict. Because now it's not only about what's happening during games. It's about what fans believe is going on behind closed doors. The Indiana Fever didn't quietly release a few practice clips. It felt like a coordinated campaign.
We're going to make our coach the face of the team and hopefully get a whole lot of you suckers to buy in.
Fans noticed constant media segments, repeated messaging, and a spotlight that kept returning to Stephanie White. Rather than easing the tension, it made things worse.
We decide if she deserves support once we see the offense and how CC is being used. Not parked in a corner, getting iced out again. Stop trying to manufacture approval through nonstop propaganda videos and put that energy into the product and on the court instead. Damn.
The harder the organization pushed that image, the louder the pushback got. Fans started asking one simple question: why are you promoting the system instead of the superstar? This is Caitlin Clark, a player who didn't just bring more eyes to women's basketball. She completely changed it.
Not buying any more tickets until White leaves. Sure don't look like it. Yeah, so I think the vibe has shifted. I think you have a lot of people who are, like me, still really, really excited and hopeful that Caitlin Clark can't contain herself from being Caitlin Clark when she gets into the battles in the actual games.
Her college games at Iowa were pulling in millions of viewers, sometimes even beating NBA numbers. Jersey sales, ticket demand, media buzz, everything surged because of her. So when fans feel like that star power is being downplayed, they speak up loudly.
Can't sell out a season opener. Not buying any more tickets until White leaves.
Then came the moment that poured fuel on the fire. On-court patterns, comments, and interviews all seemed to point in the same direction. The offense wasn't being run through Clark. Plays were going elsewhere. Other players were being centered. The system looked balanced, but not built around her.
How amazing and wonderful Stephanie White is. She is like the second coming. Shout out CJ, the W360. I think we found our white Jesus, and it's not Caitlin Clark.
And here's the thing. Balance sounds good in theory. But when you have a generational scorer and playmaker on your team, balance can quickly start looking like a ceiling.
Wow, the person is killing any kind of flair and brilliance in this team. This woman is not good enough to coach half of these players. That's why she can't make plays work for Clark.
Fans moved from complaining to accusing. Accusing the coaching philosophy of holding Clark back. Accusing the organization of not understanding what made this team matter in the first place. And above all, accusing them of throwing away the one thing they can't get back: momentum.
More tickets. More asking for tickets. You were successful in destroying your fan base. You allowed liars to call us racist. You never stood up for us. Now you brought in Raven, who lied and called us racist. You hate us, but want our money. No more from me. Dang.
This is bigger than early season wins and losses. This is about identity. You either build around a once-in-a-generation talent, or you turn the biggest opportunity in franchise history into a massive missed chance. Right now, fans are being very loud about which outcome they want.
We'll decide if she deserves support once we see the offense and how CC is being used, not parked in a corner getting iced out again.
And the whole situation is on edge. Because when fan frustration reaches this level, it doesn't quietly go away. It demands a response. What began as criticism has become real pressure, aimed directly at Stephanie White and the direction of the entire franchise.
We came to watch the WNBA for Caitlin, not the Steph White system. Nobody likes her. White and the head office lying to the fans over and over last year makes them very unlikable.
Fans aren't just watching anymore. They're tracking every possession, every play call, every moment where Clark isn't the center of the action. And the stakes have never been higher.
Having promoted CC on the Indiana site is mind-boggling. Totally not there for 3 days. Not in the promotion to sell tickets. What the hell?
This isn't a player who arrived with hype alone. She brought an entire audience with her. TV ratings for women's basketball climbed sharply during her college run. Arena sellouts became routine. That kind of impact isn't just impressive, it's transformational. And when you have something that rare in your hands, you don't play it safe. You let it loose.
People pay to see. I'm sure she's a nice person, but she is not the franchise superstar, nor do fans pay to watch her. Fans are not stupid. Stop trying to force her on the fan base.
But right now, fans feel like they're watching the opposite. Clark isn't controlling games. The offense stalls when it should explode. The system feels more important than the star. That's where the real battle begins, not between players, but between a passionate fan base and the philosophy running the team.
Stephanie White, interviews, exclusives, clips, tape, mic'd up at practice. Kelsey Mitchell, they did a whole Fever All Access episode about Kelsey Mitchell. And I'm a Kelsey Mitchell money Mitch, put him in a...
Because today's fans don't just cheer, they drive outcomes. Ticket sales, engagement, media stories. All of it depends on how connected people feel to what they're watching. And when that connection starts cracking, the fallout comes quickly. Empty seats. Louder voices. A story that gets harder and harder to control.
Had we really fell off, we ain't never have to convince fans to show up before.
So the real question now isn't whether the noise will die down. It's whether anyone is listening. Because if nothing changes, this season's story won't be about growth or wins. It'll be about how a generational player became the center of a crisis, and how a fan base that showed up in full force decided to push back like never before.
Why does it feel like the Fever are running a full PR campaign for Stephanie White instead of promoting the actual players people paid to see? I'm sure she's a nice person, but she is not the franchise superstar.
This isn't just noise anymore. This is a fan base drawing a hard line. And every eye is on Stephanie White now. Because if Caitlin Clark isn't given the freedom to take over, this conflict could end up defining the entire season.
Can't sell out a season opener. Not buying any more tickets until White leaves.
Why does it feel like the Fever are running a full PR campaign for Stephanie White?
I think you have a lot of people who are, like me, still really, really excited and hopeful that Caitlin Clark...
Why does it feel like the Fever are running a full PR campaign for Stephanie White instead of promoting the actual players?
Fans are not stupid. Stop trying to force her on the fan base. We'll decide if she deserves support once we see the offense and how CC is being used.
The Fever has a decision to make, and fast. Until then, stay locked in. Subscribe, comment your thoughts, and share this if you believe Caitlin Clark deserves better. The conversation starts right here.